All right, good evening and welcome to the June 16, 2026 meeting of the Hickory City Council. At this time, I would like to ask our Ward 4 representative, Councilman Freeman, for our invocation. If you would please, if you're able to stand for the invocation and remain standing after the invocation for the Pledge of Allegiance.
Let us pray. Gracious Father, we want to say thank you for your amazing grace and your incredible love that you continue on showing towards all of us. Father, we're just so thankful and grateful that you continue on allowing your compassion on this city and on us as leaders. God, I pray that you will continue on blessing our whole community, that you continue on blessing us as leaders of this community. We will forever be guided by your heart and certainly through your character. We ask all these blessings in Jesus' name. Amen.
Amen. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. All right. I want to thank each and every one of you for being here. But we do have a special guest, and I'm going to call on Miss Dana Kaminsky to introduce our special guest this evening. All right, Dana? Okay. And all right, Annabelle, it's all yours. You can stand right there. You don't have to come up front. All right. Well, what Annabelle didn't tell you is that her mother, Miss Yade Fox, is one of our assistant city managers, and so she's not. I asked her. I said, "You going to sit with your mom?" She said, "No, I get to see her all the time." So, welcome, Annabelle. We're glad to have you interning with us during this summer. All right, welcome. All right. Let's see. Persons requesting to be heard at every council meeting. We'll allow anyone from the public who would like to address the council the opportunity to be able to do so. Now, if you're planning on speaking during the public hearing, this is not that time. This is a separate time. So if there's anyone present that would like to address the council this evening, we ask that you come to the podium, that you state your name and address, and that you limit your conversation to 3 minutes or less. So at this time, I'll ask if there's anyone present that would like to address the council this evening. Yes, sir.
Hello, Bob Post, 1006 12th Ave Northwest. I took a walk today, went down and took a look at the new sidewalk along 12th Avenue Northwest between Old Lenore Road and 10th Street Boulevard. And so after seeing that, I wanted to come here tonight and thank you on behalf of many neighbors in the area who already reached out to me and said how excited they are to have this pedestrian and bicycle access to the Aviation Walk and the River Walk and the future Alley Art Walk. And I'm sure there's many neighbors that have yet to discover that they now will have safe access to the Hickory Trail. But I wanted to thank you. I wanted to thank City Manager Warren Wood. I wanted to thank Planning Manager John Marshall. I wanted to thank Ward 5 Councilwoman Arnita Dula, as well as former Ward 5 Councilman Dave Zagaroli. And I wanted to give a special thanks to Ward 6 Councilwoman Jill Patton, and just a great job. I got to admit, I was a bit skeptical that it was going to get done so quick, but you really made it happen. So, and I'm sure there's many others that I've missed, but those are the folks that I had some contact with. Hopefully you agree this short section of sidewalk represents not only just a sidewalk, but also how small projects can make a big difference in people's lives. And the value, hopefully, you see the value of a respectful group of interested citizens in bringing ideas to you for consideration. If you do see that value, I do ask that you consider implementing a city committee that would be focused on improving safe pedestrian and bicycle access throughout the city of Hickory, one small project at a time. But in the meantime, I just want to say thanks. A very, very sincere thank you.
All right. Thank you, Mr. Post.
Can I say, Mr. Chair? Let me say thank you so very much. While you were coming and thanking the individuals and our city manager, one, I do know that you're always consistent and present during our Hickory City Council meetings. I think you might have been the one that reminds me anything that comes out of my mouth. But let me say, far in between, we don't get a whole lot of accolades, and nor do we do what we do for accolades, because I believe we want to serve the community to the best of our ability. But we don't really get a whole lot of thank yous. And I want to say thank you back that you came, and just to say thank you for what we're doing. I appreciate that.
Is there anyone else present in the audience that would like to address the council this evening? All right. As always, you don't have to wait until a council meeting. Our council members make themselves available in many different ways. And if you have any concerns or any questions, or if you'd just like to speak to one of us, we'll certainly make ourselves available. So thank you for being here this evening. All right, next item on our agenda is the approval of our minutes from our regular meeting of June the 2nd, 2026. At this time, I'll entertain a motion.
So moved. Second?
We have a motion and we have a second. Is there any further discussion? All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, like sign? All right, that carries unanimously. Item number 7 is our reaffirmation ratification on second readings, and once again, I'll entertain a motion.
Move approval.
Second?
We have a motion and a second. Any further discussion? All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, like sign? That also carries unanimously. I should have said it before. Ward 1 Councilman Tony Wood is unable to be here with us this evening, but we still have a quorum. Item number 8 is our consent agenda. At this time, I'll ask if there's anyone present on council or staff that would like to have any item removed from the consent agenda.
Move that we approve the consent agenda.
Second?
All right, we have a motion, we have a second. Any further discussion on the consent agenda? All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, like sign? The consent agenda is approved unanimously. We have 3 public hearings this evening. To introduce our first public hearing, I'll turn it over to our city manager, Mr. Warren Wood.
Thank you, Mayor Guest, members of the City Council, Mr. Swanson. The first of 3 public hearings tonight is consideration of the voluntary non-contiguous annexation of property located at 3440 Eller Drive. It's a Newton address, but it's proposed to be in Hickory, containing approximately 5.56 acres. It's owned by Gregory Ranizowski and be presented by Planning Manager Cal Overby.
Thank you, Mr. Wood. Mayor Guest, council members, Mr. Wood, Mr. Swanson. It's just at a good location. You guys can hear me on this one. Okay, so as Mr. Wood announced, this is a annex.
Paul, is there a way to turn his volume up a little bit?
Got it? Yes, this is a voluntary non-contiguous annexation of property that is located at 3440 Eller Drive. It's about 5.5 acres of property, and the property is currently zoned R1 residential, and it's vacant. That R3 is actually a typographical error. Sorry about that, guys and gals. And it's currently adjacent to Ward 3, which is Councilman Seaver. And the future idea is to develop the property for single-family residences. The subject property is shown in the hatched area of red. The area that is shown in yellow is the city's extraterritorial area. The blue color is currently city limits, and the white is Catawba County's jurisdiction. This area here is basically a subdivision. This is a future subdivision in this area. In terms of zoning for the properties, again, looking at R2 residential here, R1 residential, some more R2, and this is Catawba County R20 residential in this area with the little commercial property there. In terms of larger picture of the area, again, we're looking at, let's go back here. We are looking at, this is Overture Point development. This actually accesses from Short Road via Startown Road, but it eventually will connect down to Eller Drive and then out to Robinson. In total, this is about 270 lots. It was reduced by about 20, resulting in the sale of some property to an adjacent development that is incorporated into their development also. And this is Tennyson Crossing. This is another development. It's about 180 total lots in this development also. So the subject property is located in this area here. The idea that the developer brought to staff is that they want to divide this property into 12 individual parcels. And when the sewer line is ready in this area, which there will be a bridge constructed so the Eller Drive extension can then come across and then go to this area, the developer will then extend the line and connect to the sewer line to bring the sewer to this piece of property, serve the property, and have the area so the houses can be constructed. So there's kind of a little lag time there. And in doing so, we being staff evaluated a petition. We looked at it from the perspective of public services, police, fire, sanitation, public utilities, and found that all those were available and in sufficient quantities to serve the property should council choose to annex the property. Given that, staff recommends approval of the annexation, and I'll be more than happy to answer questions.
Any questions for Mr. Overby? Thanks, sir.
Yes, sir.
All right, as stated, this is a public hearing. In just a few minutes, I'll declare the public hearing open, and before I do that, we have some rules pertaining to public hearings that are similar to those of those who would like to speak. We allow up to 15 minutes for anyone that would like to speak in opposition. We also allow up to 15 minutes for any group or person that would like to speak in favor. If necessary, we will allow time for rebuttal and serve rebuttal. The same rules apply. We ask that you come to the podium and that you state your name and your address. So at this time, I'll declare the public hearing open and ask if there's anyone present that would like to speak in opposition of the voluntary annexation you've just heard described by Mr. Overby. There doesn't appear to be anyone that would like to speak in opposition. We did have one person who signed up to speak in favor this evening, so I'll call Mr. Benjamin Griffith, I believe it is, to the podium. If you would, for the record, state your name and address, sir.
My name is Benjamin Griffin. My address is 180 29th Avenue Place, Northwest in Hickory. We're trying to build 12 houses there. They're single-family homes, about 1,150 square feet. In the lower end of the, as far as new construction goes, about $255,000 price range, what I build them for now. And so just like trying to do affordable housing in Catawba County.
Is that all? All right. Is there anyone else that would like to speak in favor? There being no one else desiring to speak, I'll declare the public hearing closed and entertain a motion and discussion.
I move approval.
Second.
The annexation.
All right, we have a motion, we have a second. Is there any further discussion? All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, like sign. That carries unanimously. Once again, for our second public hearing, I'll turn it over to our city manager, Mr. Warren Wood.
Thank you, Mayor Guest. Second public hearing is consideration of rezoning petition 26-04 for property located at 3440 Eller Drive. It'll again be presented by Planning Manager Cal Overby.
Thank you, Mr. Wood, Mayor Guest, council members, Mr. Wood, Mr. Swanson. And again, this is basically a follow-up to what was just discussed. As part of the petition that was submitted for the annexation of the property that was just voted on by council, the request also included a request to rezone the property from R1 residential to R3 residential. As I noted previously, the property is actually in Hickory's extraterritorial area, so it is already zoned by Hickory. It is zoned R1 residential. And again, this is actually Hickory's comprehensive plan map. As you can see in the areas here, just point these out. This is low-density residential, medium-density residential, and higher-density residential. So that's the three classifications you're seeing in the area here. In terms of existing zoning, we went over this kind of a little bit a minute ago. R2 residential through most of this area. The contrast in these colors did not show out like I thought it would. This is R20 residential, R1 residential in here, more R2, and then you're getting up into the areas of the Highway 7321, Catawba Valley Boulevard corridor. And again, in terms of the land uses, you're seeing most of the residential through the area. There is one property in Catawba County's jurisdiction that has a business on it. Not quite sure what it is, but I did discover that when I was looking at the property. It was mostly single-family detached residences through most of the area there. In terms of consistency with our long-range plan, the area is classified as medium-density residential, calls for 2 to 4 units an acre, or 8 to 10, depending upon the particular locations. It is an implementing district, it being R3 is implementing district for medium-density residential future land use classification. There are several things in the area that are basically changing the character of the area. There are 2 fairly large developments that are happening there. And just around the corner, there's a fairly big employment center with Trivium Corporate Center going on, and there is continued growth along the US 70 Catawba Valley Boulevard area. So you're getting kind of, it's coming in on it, if you know what I mean. You can just imagine the growth that's happening in the area there. And also, basically with the rezoning also, you're not diverging and just going outward, changing the development pattern. You're staying residential, it's just a different density of residential. In terms of land uses in the area, R1 and R2 residential, Hickory, are residential, as well as R20. So we're all looking at residential zoning. We're not going away from that at all. Surrounding properties are either residential, single family, or wooded and vacant areas. Suitability under the existing zoning, the big differences, and I'll go over this a little bit later. R1 permits manufactured homes, where R3 technically permits multifamily. R1 permits 2 units an acre, and R3 is 8 to 10. On 5 acres, I'm not sure how much you would actually get if you try to do multifamily, because by the time you do parking infrastructure, you're not going to have a lot of property left over. So here's a real rundown of the difference between the 2 districts. Again, we're looking at density, R3, 8 to 10 units an acre. R1, 2 units an acre. Minimum lot size of R1 is half an acre, mainly because those areas that have R1 don't have public utilities, so you need a larger lot to accommodate that. Uses for R3 are detached and attached residence as well as multifamily. Uses in R1 would be attached and detached residences as well as manufactured homes. Some of the characteristics you see for R1 is they're more larger lots and more automobile dependent. And characteristics of R3 is they're more smaller lots and they're generally located closer to commercial areas. Detrimental impacts, this kind of dovetails a little bit about the annexation. All of these were actually reviewed when we considered the annexation, we being staff, because we evaluated all of the items that would be necessary to serve the property, if anything would be detrimental. So they were basically reviewed when we considered the annexation portion of this. Public services, again, we did not find anything that would be detrimental to the area, as well as any public safety, general welfare, any applicable rules will have to be complied with. And with that, I will close and say that our Planning Commission reviewed this particular case on May the 27th and unanimously voted to send council a recommendation of approval. And if there's any questions, I'll be happy to entertain those now.
Any questions for Mr. Overy? Not from the audience, sir. Any questions from council? All right. Thank you, sir.
Yes, sir.
All right. Once again, we will have a public hearing related to this matter. At this time, I'll declare the public hearing open. The same rules apply, and I'll ask if there's anyone present that would like to speak in opposition of the rezoning petition you've just heard described from Mr. Overby. Come forward, please, and state your name and address.
Hi, my name's John Medford. I live at 3451 Winters Street. I'd like to know why we are pursuing R3 zoning as opposed to R2. From my understanding, we're doing 12 houses, I think, in this proposed development. If I understand right, R2 would still cover that. R3 would offer potentially even higher density. And from what I see in the surrounding areas, including the new big developments, those are all just R2. So there's no other R3 in the area. Is there a reason why R3 is considered as opposed to R2?
I'll allow Mr. Overby.
Well, can we have the public hearing, and then when you
Okay.
close the public hearing, we can answer
We'll
questions?
consider that when we close,
Okay.
when we
sure.
discuss.
Yeah,
Okay?
that's all my comments.
Okay.
Thank you.
All right, is there anyone else present that would like to speak in opposition? All right, is there anyone present that would like to speak in favor? Mr. Griffith, would you like to speak? Okay, come forward, please. Once again, state your name and address for the record.
My name is Benjamin Griffin. My address is 180 29th Avenue Place Northwest in Hickory. The reason, I want to answer his question if I can. Can I answer his question?
You can say, you got 15 minutes, sir.
The reason that we're looking for R3 instead of R2 is because of lot width. So R2 is more, we couldn't get as many lots, so we couldn't get 12 lots. So the reason we're doing R3 is so that we don't have to build roads, because that creates a whole lot more expense to do 12 houses or more. But only thing I do is build houses. I don't build duplexes, I don't build apartments, I don't build anything else. I do about 20 a year. So all I do is build houses, single-family homes. So that's the intent. But the reason for the R3 zoning instead of R2 is so that I can go to the smaller width on the street to build more houses.
Okay.
And it's about a half-acre lot, so average almost half-acre lot, 0.45, 5.56 acres. So it's still big lots. It's just narrower.
All right.
Thank you.
Yes, sir. Is there anyone else that would like to speak in favor? All right. Is there anyone that would like to have a rebuttal? All right. At this time, I'll declare the public hearing closed and entertain a motion or discussion.
Move approval of the rezoning petition. Second.
Okay. Is there any further discussion? All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, like sign? All right, that carries unanimously as well. All right, for our third and final public hearing, once again, I'll turn it over to our city manager, Mr. Warren Wood.
Thank you, Mayor Guest. Third public hearing is consideration of text amendment 26-03, amending the City of Hickory's flood damage prevention ordinance. It'll be again presented by Planning Manager Cal Overby.
Hello again, everyone. Is this mic at a good location still? Mayor Guest, council members, Mr. Wood, Mr. Swanson. The next item is an amendment to the city's flood ordinance. This is not the most interesting thing, so I'm going to try to get through it quick. The city is a participant in a national flood insurance program. It's a voluntary program established by FEMA. It allows the citizens of Hickory to get subsidized flood insurance. In participating in the program, the city is obligated to adopt regulatory standards for development in and around floodplains. Our regulatory document is basically rules developed by FEMA, then passed down to Department of Public Safety, who designs an ordinance and then passes the ordinance on to us, and then we basically adopt it. So we're adopting an ordinance, but we're basically adopting an ordinance because we're told to adopt an ordinance, if that makes any sense there. So the amendments that are happening, it's basically changing the ordinance wholesale. A lot of things in the ordinance are just going away. There's chapters that are being replaced. It looks altogether different. So I'm going to get through these fairly quickly. You guys have the draft. If you have any specific questions as I'm going through it, please stop me and I'll answer those questions as they go. The first article, statutory authority, there was just some changes to the language. It basically stipulates the necessity and explains the objectives. Article 2, definitions were added to the ordinance that are used elsewhere in the ordinance. General provisions basically at this point changed it so that we did not have to readopt new flood maps every time they came out, because that posed an issue every time new maps were released, because we had to do that. 4, the datum measurements were changed to NAVD 1988. Before is 1929, which is the old datum measurement, which was less accurate. Changed requirements for items to be added, included on the FEMA permit. There was nothing really changing. It was just more of who is doing what and what are they doing on it, much more of a narrative type thing. Floodproof certificates changed. Those for non-residential only. You can't floodproof a house. It's not permitted. Floodplain administrator's duty for damage assessments. If something's damaged, floodplain administrator does have a duty to do an assessment. That's only happens with the assistance of emergency management. Better provide enforcement procedures, and also prior to considering a variance, North Carolina Emergency Management must be consulted. I've been here for 20-some years, and we've never done a floodplain variance, so that's not something we would do. 5, flood hazard reduction, basically changes, and this is kind of an important one here, what's called pre-firm structures. Hickory joined the program in 1974, so anything that existed prior to 1974 is considered pre-firm, meaning that it existed, just think about it as zoning, as non-conforming. And these would get damaged, and they would have flood insurance because they're pre-firm. So over a 5-year period, if their fair market value prior at their first loss over the 5-year period equals 50%, then we're no longer letting them rebuild the structures. There's actually a FEMA buyback program they would enter at that point. Also prohibit location of RVs. Accessory buildings are allowed to be get wet flood proofing. Establishing standards for fuel tanks, fences. That all came about from Helene. Those were additions that came in here specifically because of Helene. Explain conditional letters of map revision as well as final letters of map revision. And our Planning Commission considered this on May 27th, and out of consideration, voted to recommend approval. And with that, I will close and answer any questions that council may have.
Any questions for Mr. Overby from council?
Thanks,
All right.
sir.
Thank you, sir. All right, once again, this will be a public hearing. The same rules apply. I'll declare the public hearing open and ask if there's anyone present that would like to speak in opposition of amending the city's Hickory floodplain text amendment. There doesn't appear to be anyone that would like to speak in opposition. I'll ask if there's anyone present that would like to speak in favor. There doesn't appear to be anyone that would like to speak this evening, so at this time I'll declare the public hearing closed and entertain a motion or discussion.
Move approval of the text amendment.
Second.
All right, we have a motion, we have a second. Any further discussion? All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, like sign. That carries unanimously. Next item on the agenda is our appointments to boards or commissions. I'll entertain anyone that has any appointments they would like to make to our boards or commissions this evening?
I have two this evening. I have Pam Walters to be for the Art Commission as a reappointment, and also Rhianna Rice for the at-large representative on the University Commission.
Okay, those checked off. Go ahead.
I have four.
Okay.
For reappointment to the Community Relations Council, Phyllis Michaud and Brenda Ramsewer. I'd also like to reappoint Robert Lulewski to the Hickory Regional Planning Commission and Melissa Alderman to the Public Art Commission.
Okay.
Oh, and one more, I'm sorry.
Go ahead.
Pardon me, five. Also like to appoint Taylor Newton to the Parks and Recreation Commission. Pardon me, Parks, Recreation, and Sports Tourism.
Right.
I have one appointment for Zakiah Hall as the ETJ at-large representative for the Community Relations Council.
I'd like to appoint Wesley Christopher, who is eligible for Public Art Commission, for Ward 4. Also, I'd like to appoint Timothy Shuford, who's eligible for Ward 4, Park and Recs and Sports Tourism.
Okay. Danny?
That's all I have right
Yes, I've got two to reappoint, Beth Berry to the Planning Commission, and also Grover Lineberger to Parks Recreation and Sports Tourism.
Okay, so, let's see, I have Councilwoman Jill Patton, reappointment to the Salt Block Foundation, and also Councilwoman Charlotte Williams, reappointment to the Trivium Corporate Center Board. Without naming all of them, the ones that are listed under the Youth Council, there's several listed on the agenda under the Youth Council. Madam Clerk, can I do it like that, or do I have to name them all individually? Okay. And I'll also ask our clerk if we've missed it, because it's easy to miss as many as we've got here. To your knowledge, have we missed any that were eligible?
There's a few eligible reappointments, Business Development Committee. Bianca Carter is eligible for reappointment.
Okay.
Citizen Advisory Committee, you have two people eligible for reappointment.
And I believe we also have Parks and Recreation, Sports Tourism, Lane's not, Douglas is Douglas here? Douglas is eligible, is that correct? So those are the four that we missed. Okay, I'll make the motion for Bianca Carter, Mary Young, Steve Kiker, and Douglas Ocasio as listed under the respective committees. Is there any others that we've overlooked?
And I don't know if anyone mentioned Phyllis Mishaw.
Yeah, we need to go.
Okay, is there any others that we've overlooked? Okay, so those motions have been made. Do I hear a second?
Second.
We have a motion, we have a second. All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, like sign? All right, so those were unanimous as well. Once again, it's that time of year where we have folks that are rotating off of some of our boards and commissions, and some other folks who maybe have moved or whatever and not eligible for reappointment. So I'll encourage those of you in the audience that might be interested in any of our boards or commissions. This is certainly an opportunity and a time to be able to get appointed to one of those boards or commissions if you so desire. So I'll just make that reminder. All right, any items not on the agenda, sir?
No, sir.
All right, do I have any general comments from our council? Yes,
I
ma'am.
have two. I know he would never say it, but I want to say for Warren's daughter, Izzy,
Yes.
is top of the leaderboard in Australia, 11 goals of the Golden Boot leader in mid-season. So I know you're really proud of her, and you wouldn't say anything to us, but congratulations.
Congratulations.
And also thank Yade Fox and heading up, getting our enhanced city communications so that people can get the snippets online. It's going to be a direct link in the paperless e-bill to the city snippets, and I think that will be a real good communication for people that say, well, I don't get the city snippets. You can get it anytime.
Well, we appreciate City Council bringing that up, because that was a pretty easy fix. Yeah.
Got a-
Yeah, and I was just gonna say, that's a huge thank you to our IT department, our finance department, and communications. It's definitely a collaboration, they did it.
You headed it up, and we appreciate everybody's work on it. Thank you very much.
Any other comments?
Yes, Mayor, there are a number of Juneteenth events coming up this weekend. They've been going on actually throughout the month of June. I know on Saturday, the Juneteenth Festival, Stronger Together, which is Catawba County, the City of Newton, City of Hickory, Town of Catawba, Conover, Southwest Community, Town of Maiden, and Longview. It's a collaboration. That event is this coming Saturday at Lenore-Ryan University from 3 p.m. to 8 p.m.
Okay. Anyone else have any comments, general comments that they would like to make this evening? I have just, on a sad note, some of you may recall, may remember P.D. Fowler. P.D. Fowler was a longtime police officer for the city of Hickory. I had the honor and the privilege of working with him. He was actually my training officer back a long, long time ago, but P.D. passed away this past week. His funeral will be Thursday. I know many folks in our community knew P.D. and his family, and so our condolences go out to the Fowler family, and we just want to take this opportunity to recognize all his many contributions. The City of Hickory Police Department's been doing community policing for a really long time, but P.D. Fowler was doing community policing when most agencies were not doing community policing. He was a true community police officer and a real public servant to the City of Hickory and the surrounding area. So I just want to recall that and recognize his passing. Anyone else? Let's see now, our July meeting, I think it was, we will not be having our first meeting in July.
Yeah.
So we'll only be having one council meeting. It'll be the third Tuesday in July. We'll take the first, we always take that week, typically, because everybody's on vacation and nobody would be here but us. So our next council meeting will be the third Tuesday in July. All right? Anything else?
We will have the Hickory High State Championship girls soccer team coming to that one meeting in July to recognize
them.
and Coach Gillings.
That's right. All right. And July 4th celebrations will be in conjunction with some other municipalities, and there'll be a event at the fairgrounds. So the City of Hickory will be participating in that along with other municipalities as a joint effort. All right. I think that's all. I'll make a motion that we adjourn.
Second.
We have a motion, we have a second. Everybody in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, like sign. Ladies and gentlemen, we stand adjourned. Thank you for being here.